Okay, why do I use an acid-based wheel cleaner versus let's go with this. Where is it? Here we are, we have pH neutral. Okay, what the French is pH neutral? If it truly is neutral, that would literally be distilled water because it's neither alkaline or acid. So how can that even possibly be a cleaner of any kind? As a rule, cleaners, like all-purpose cleaners, are on the side of alkaline. Here we have the pH scale. Over here is where your typical cleaners are going to reside. Acid over here is where this acid-based wheel cleaner resides. So the question is why pick an acid base? Because when people hear the word acid, they go into freak out mode. It's like, oh, acid, it burns skin, it's going to eat through anything, it's going to be damaging to my wheels, and blah 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 blah. Well, the reason that manufacturers that have been in the business a very long time use it and continue to sell it is because it works. And guess what? It is safe. If you'll notice, this actually comes in a plastic container. The sprayer in which I use, and this is a dedicated labeled Meguiar's spray bottle that says right on it, wheel brightener. It is plastic as well as a plastic sprayer. And guess what? It does chemically react to brake dust and is very effective. Far more effective than a pH neutral jack-off sign on the pH neutral or pH balanced BS that they put on labeling, whether it's car leather cleaners or leather conditioners or whatever. You know, it's just one of those hot buttons for me where it's like, okay, what the hell is that about? And what does that even mean? And if it truly is pH neutral, I'm going to call BS on that, because what is it? What are they selling me? Water? You know, glorified water in some cool packaging. So is that safe? Well, of course it's safe. You know, if it truly is pH neutral, water's safe for just about anything. Okay, so that's why I choose an acid-based wheel cleaner, because it works and because it is safe, as I've just demonstrated with the examples of the wheels I use, and I've been using it for so long. So that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, now that we saw that hands-on demonstration, I showed you clean the wheels on the Mercedes, and I showed you the long-term effect on that Range Rover. Pretty significant, I would say. So the tools, what do I use? You saw some of the tools, I explained some of the tools. Now, once again, you have choices. Now, two of the biggest players when it comes to wheel cleaning, well, we need to break it down into two areas. The face of the wheel and the barrel of the wheel, which is the inside part of the wheel. Now, when it comes to the face of the wheel, you saw me using this brush. Now, I've had this brush probably close to 2 years. You can find this on my website. I recommend it, as you saw in the video. I recommend it for very specific reasons. This is what it's going to look like over time as you use it. This is my Speedmaster wheel brush, as I've been using it now for about 4 months. This is what it looks like brand new, and in comparison to the, what is this called, the Wheel Woolies, which I have demoed and tested out in the real world, yes, they work, but I think this works better. Okay, so good and better. But that's my opinion. I know some of you that are kind of neurotic and want to overthink the moment might say that, oh, this is made out of nylon and is possibly going to scratch my wheel. Well, I don't think so, but if you prefer the Wheel Woolly, go for it. I just think that you, over the long term, will prefer this for very specific reasons. Mostly that it holds up better, it cleans better, and I just think it's a better tool. Don't forget your gloves, which I did in the video, and the sprayers. You can find these on my website also. These are my favorite sprayers. They're actually called chemical resistant sprayers. But something you need to know, I don't care what sprayer you get, you never know how many sprays you're going to get out of that spray head. It could be 2 sprays, it could be 200,000 sprays. I kid you not, I have sprayers that last a day, and then I have sprayers that last literally years and years and years. You just never know. So these are the ones I prefer. They're adjustable, they're ergonomically friendly. Some sprayers have a spread that's too far out. I know you have those quasars or quasars that spray chemical both when you pull and when you release, but a lot of times that's too much product, believe it or not. Too much sometimes is too much. So this is, you also need a sprayer. If you do get the wheel brightener, now if you're a driveway detailer and you know that this is a concentrate and you think, okay, I can dilute this down 4-to-1. Well, that means that this gallon is going to make 5 gallons of wheel cleaner. And you think, well, wow, Darren, how long is it going to take me to go through 5 gallons of wheel cleaner? Well, I don't know. It depends on your wheels. Depends on how often you're cleaning with them. I just know that you go through quite a bit. So this may seem overkill to you, and if it is, then you can just shop like a retail size product in a regular spray bottle. But I promise you, after a couple washes, you're going to wish you had something a little more economical that's going to go further out. So I think it's suitable for most anyone, whether it's a professional or a driveway detailer. And you saw in the video, I had to fabricate this brush myself. I went to a auto supply, or no, it wasn't. It was actually a contractor's supply house. This brush, I don't know what they use it for, but I coated it in some padding and some red duct tape to protect it from scratching the wheel. I also put this wire cap on from the electrical industry. I use JB Weld to attach it so it doesn't come loose, and so I can make sure I'm not scratching the wheel. And that's the deal with detailing, is sometimes you have to go out of the boundaries of the detailing world to find that perfect tool that's going to make or break your world, or at least make your world better. How about that? Because this brush, when you're, like, for example, some of the wheels, a couple that come to mind are like the Bentleys, the Rolls Royces, which I know for most of you that's probably not going to be your world, but there's some wheels that the brake rotor and caliper are so close to the wheel that you cannot get this, you can't wedge this in because this only collapses so tight. I'd probably say within a 1/2 inch clearance. Well, this one will collapse even tighter to maybe like a 3/8 inch clearance. And so there's certain wheels, Porsches, whatever, that I can get the wheel barrel completely with this tool, but not with this tool. But that's going to be a rare moment. And then I've got just my traditional scrub brush, which you saw in the video. And this is my detailing bucket, which you saw in the video. It's a mess. You know, these bottles get dirty because wheel and tire cleaning is just that dirty. So that's the tools.